get what's going on with your person. What's in the energy around them? Okay, so all right, so I feel like your person's in a place where they're questioning their ability to manifest what it is that they want. I've got the Magician in reverse here. So there's an idea that they're not able to bring forth what they want. There is some sort of lack of confidence in them, in their abilities, in their self-worth, in what they're capable of. I think that they also are feeling like they don't know how to come forward with any sort of communication. What is also around them is a lot of love and a lot of emotion. So there is a connection to you that feels balanced, like they want it to be balanced. They want this connection to grow. They understand the importance of it. They see you and this connection as like an equal partner. And there's a desire for peace and love, and new beginnings. I think that they also, tied in with that is that this desire, yes, to begin something new with you. But what's holding them back is they don't know how. They don't know how to do it. They can see the potential of what could be, but they're still feeling stuck in how to make it happen, how to start the communication, how to start the rebuilding and bringing it back in. So the core emotions are there. It's just a lack of confidence in themselves, in knowing how to manifest it and bring it forth. Most likely because they feel that this is up to them to do. I think they know that it's going to fall on them to have to reach out and restart anything new with you. But it's a daunting task for them. There's a lot going on the minds, but just not knowing how to make it happen. But the emotion and the affection is there. Let's actually get some emotion and feeling cards for them. What are they feeling? Oh, okay. That's a lot. So this one, worry. I'm learning that worry doesn't change the outcome. So this worry is tied with this feeling of not knowing how to move forward, how to start it again, how to make the renewal. Happiness. I'm aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. So I think that's what they're searching for. They know that this connection is something that brings them joy, brings them happiness. But they're just worried about how to do it. But they're probably also worried about whether they've completely lost this. Humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Which can be nice, but humor can sometimes be a deflection point so rather than really focusing on what we need to focus on and going through the emotions and the processes that we need to go through, sometimes we can use humor to sort of not have to do that, not have to feel those other strong emotions. Envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. So I think they're feeling also like this is unfair. Like maybe there's a lot going on for them, also externally, that is causing, this feeling of unable to come forward, unable to manifest, unable to communicate, overthinking. And so there's this feeling of why people don't understand how hard it is for me. Why have I got it this hard? Adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. So I think there's a rational understanding that yes, we learn through our challenges, but there's still a masking of it all. Like they rationally know that the challenging side of this all is going to be something that leads them into growth. However, it's not solving the problem. They still can't manage to it's like they can't manage to let that love flow. That Ace of Cups, that Two of Cups, they're so uncertain and unsure of themselves and how to do it. They're just not letting that love flow. And so things like adversity, understanding the reasons for adversity, are they're rationalizing, which is good, but it's still holding them back from letting the love and emotion flow freely. And sometimes we have to break free. Yes, it's going to be hard to reconnect with someone that there's been an ending with, particularly if you don't know if there will be a new start. But sometimes that's just, we have to face that, and we have to face that fear of rejection and step out in order to manifest what we want. The Magician in reverse is never going to flip and turn around if you're not willing to move forward and speak your truth, and take those magical chances. Dear. Okay, so it's sad because the love and the emotion and the feeling is here, but they're not choosing worry and fear about the outcome and about whether or not they deserve, it is holding them back. Let's see where you're sitting. All right. Okay. So you are sitting in your peace, your groundedness, your joy. You must be in a place where you've accepted what's happened. And if this is an ending, you're in a place where you've accepted that ending. And it's not to say that you don't want a reconnection, but you have accepted that whatever will be, will be. And as I said before, I think this person is going to have to be the one coming forward. I don't feel like you are going to reach out because you've come to your acceptance of it. You're finding your new path. You're grounding a new path. You're balancing, I feel, your external and your internal. So your internal world, your internal emotions, your masculine and your feminine, everything is coming into balance. And that is translating into the external world. And so things are balancing out for you quite well. You've got the sun here. So, you know, positivity, pleasure, happiness, vitality, fun, joy. You're sitting in a really strong place. And like I said, it's not that you don't necessarily want this person. It's just that you know that you're okay without them. So I'm getting a sense that this person is the one in the connection that needed to grow more. And it's not that you don't need to. I think everyone always needs to grow and learn and heal. It's an ongoing process. But in order for this connection to be, it's this person that needed to go through something. They needed to grow, they needed to heal, they needed to find themselves, deal with whatever it was that they needed to deal with. It's like you're further along that path, and you know that the person that you were connected with, the energy that they were in then, is not the energy that you're aligning with. It's not the energy that you want. And if they can just, that Magician and Page of Swords, if they can just work to flip them around, they're starting to sit in much better alignment. I just want to get a couple of these cards for you to see what sort of the emotions, the feelings that you are in. See if they align. So yeah, acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. So you can't change this person. You can't change the outcome. And you've accepted that. For this person to change and for this connection to be, they're in charge of that. They have to be that magician, but at the moment that magician is still in reverse. And pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So often, so pride is a funny one in that sometimes people can think of it in a negative way. But when it's in the good energy of pride, it's beautiful. So the fact that it says, I love myself and I see myself in everyone, you understand how wonderful and important and magical you are, and that you are just a piece of the whole. And so that, you know, this idea we're all one, you know, we all come from the one source. So it's beautiful. It's also an understanding that you still have love for this person, and you know how deep maybe your connection is. And you know that they have the love in them. You know it, and it's here. But you also know that it's up to them to wake up to that and to come forward with that. It's no longer up to you. All right, so let's just see a potential outcome. I'm going to say a potential outcome if they can work through their self-doubt and worry and fears, and have the courage to sort of step forward and accept the love that they have. So if they can do that, what is the potential outcome? What is the potential outcome? Okay. Okay. All right, I'm going to get one more because I'm not sure. I feel like there's a potential for a bit of movement forward in them taking that leap, seeing fully what it is that they want, and no longer ignoring it, no longer deflecting and hiding from it. Choosing to no longer sit in grief of the separation. However, this Ten of Swords here. So I need to clarify, because I feel like this Ten of Swords could be you saying no. Maybe you are in a place where you will reject them. However, it could also be that once they do choose to not sit in that loss and that grief, and to see what is in front of them, and to take that step towards it, that feeling of pain and hurt will lift. But I'm not sure. I'm going to clarify. Okay. So, okay. So we've got the 10 of Wands in reverse, the 10-10 completions, and so the 10 of Wands in reverse. I feel like it's a dropping of those wands that you finally release. So it's a release of this 10 of Swords and 10-10 completion. So I feel like there's going to be, for them, a release of that grief that they've been holding on to. The release of holding on also to an idea that they are not good enough for you. Because sometimes whatever the outcome, being able to take that bold, courageous step to follow your heart, to express how you feel to someone, regardless of the outcome, brings strength and courage to you, because you had the strength and courage to do it in the first place. And so many people don't. Because of that fear of rejection, so many people stay silent and don't follow their path, and they don't do the things that they want to, and they don't love the people that they want to be with because they're too afraid. So regardless of the outcome, like the strength and the courage that you gain from just being able to do that is amazing. So this is potential outcome, but I want to see, would you accept them back? I want to see if you would accept them back. If you want it. Do you want this back? Do you want this connection back? Okay. Okay. All right. So right now, I feel like you aren't sure whether you want this person back or not. I think and again, it's not that you don't have love, it's just that I think there's a sense that you can't repeat any more cycles. You know that the version of the person that you were connected to previously, the version of them then, isn't someone that you want to be with. And so I think that you feel the only way that you can reconnect with this person, and the only way that you can want them back, is if they are changed. And if there is some kind of assurance that the cycles won't continue. And I feel you feel very strongly about that. And you are going to stand in your strength in that. I think you're quite worried. I think the idea of this person reaching out to you causes you a little bit of fear and anxiety, because you're in such a good place right now. The idea of them having try to come back, potentially in their still unhealed state, it's not something that you want. it causes you a bit of anxiety. And so you don't know. You don't know. And I think it's all going to depend if, when, and how they reach out to you. And you know, if there has been a change as to whether or not you want this. Again, you know, the Five of Pentacles in reverse on the bottom, it's still telling me that you don't know. You don't want to feel abandoned and left out in the cold again with them. And even though it's in reverse, which can sometimes suggest that, you know, it's sort of a coming home, and it's an acceptance and a not feeling abandoned anymore, it can also just amplify that feeling. I think that's what you're scared of. You're scared of having to go through the emotions you've clearly worked so hard to overcome, to be sitting in the current energy that you are now of the Ace of Pentacles, Temperance, the Sun, and Justice. Such strong, beautiful, amazing cards. You don't want to go back from that energy. And the thing is, where you are now, you don't know that, you know, their energy around them is the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups and the Page of Wands. You don't know that. You don't know how deeply they clearly do feel for you. And it's more about their lack of self-worth than it is about you, but you don't know that. And you won't know that until they can prove it to you with words and with actions. So stay where you are. Stay in this beautiful energy that you have. If and when and how they do reach out, take stock of your emotions. Follow your heart and your intuition as to how you want to move forward with that.